Welcome into a new edition of KSR's Pick 3. I am Drew Franklin with Adam Luckett and Nick Roush, and we are here for Week 10 of college football and to give you our three best picks. As always, we are sponsored by our friends at MyBookie. Nick, why do we like MyBookie?
Because MyBookie is the best. You can play
Yeah.
anywhere, anytime. And if you use the promo code KSR, they double your deposit. It's awesome. It's outstanding. Just visit them at mybookie.ag. If you haven't done it yet, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
Exactly. And I threw to you because we took a week off. I wanted to make sure we're all alive, paying attention. Might be a little rusty. Last week's schedules intervened. I was in Dawson for the check presentation for the tornado relief. And then Luckett had to get down to Knoxville to watch that beating. So we couldn't link up. But what are we going to do about these records? Because I have evidence from both of you. I know it's not on the internet, but both of you went 2-1. I saw it with my own eyeballs when you texted my picks.
We have timestamps.
Yeah,
We
I
do
counted
have
it.
we can count the receipts. And we need the wins too.
But I didn't send back to you all, and I feel guilty, but I promise you I can show you where I bet it. I loved Penn State, and I loved Florida. So I gave myself 2 also.
Well, hey, we won't hold it against you, Drew.
Okay.
If these picks stink, we're just going to make our picks, not do the show, and then just tell you all so we can make more money that way.
Yeah.
Actually air the show.
To be fair, with these picks aren't even Roush's real picks. He's just playing the opposite a lot of times. So who cares?
I felt bad
at this point. We've passed the point of that. If it works, it works, and this seems to be working for us.
Yeah. I just realized I have like a senior picture background going on here, so maybe this will work for me too. I don't know what I'm doing with my green screen. But it's week 10. Here we go. All coming off 2-1 weeks officially. Nick Roush, the new father, you're living your best life these days. Why don't you start us off and try to stay hot here?
I'm going to try to stay hot with a line that I think, like, North Carolina is the kings of stinky lines this year. They were really stinky last week against Pitt, and I stayed away. And now I'm just like, come on, Nick. They blew Pitt out of the water despite early struggles. This week they've got Virginia, who cannot score points. That game against Miami was a disgrace to football. North Carolina, they can score lots of points. 7.5-point favorites. I hate that hook, but I'm still going to take them minus 7.5 against the Fighting Cavaliers from Virginia.
What is that hat? It's a great hat.
Derby.
Very 90s.
119. Yeah, it's a little dented. I couldn't find my other hat. Duke took the other horse hat I have, and so it's a big. I've been researching the horses a little more than the college football teams this week, though. So big weekend at Keeneland. Drew, my one prediction for this weekend: Bob Baffert might be walking in like Randy Marsh after his suspension with his what's in a wheelbarrow. So I normally fade Baffert, but I think he might be serving some extra strong cocktails to his horses this week just to come back with a vengeance.
Well, you're always good for a good Baffert take. We appreciate that intel. Luckett, you didn't get the message on wearing your best mid-90s hat, vintage gear today, but what do you have for your first pick?
Game of the year, game of the century, Tennessee at Georgia, over 66.5. We got the 50-burger party at Tennessee. Georgia, sneaky top 5 offense as well. I think you're going to see a lot of points there in Sanford Stadium. So give me the over 66.5. I think that game's going to deliver. I think we're going to see a lot of fireworks.
I'm going to stay with that game. And unfortunately, I think there's going to be a lot of points, and some of them will be scored by the team in orange that I'm afraid is much better than I care to admit, much better than I want them to be, much better than anything after they destroyed our poor Wildcats on Saturday. I think they might even win this damn game, and then I'm going to have to move and never speak to my father again. But I am going to take the Vols to cover the 8. I'm not getting carried away with the money line. To cover the 8 in Athens. I just think that offense is going to be able to score. Not quite as much as they've been scoring, but enough to stay in the fight.
Here's the thing with that line, though. 92% of the ATS money is on the Vols, and 78% is on the money line. surely Vegas isn't going to take that bad of a bath, right? Like that line, it just doesn't. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. I like where Luckett's thinking, but I worry about Kirby trying to do what Kentucky thought they could do. You can't. You got to try to outscore him. Like Saban at least had the right methodology. You got to score points to beat this Tennessee team.
Just throw it to Brock Bowers and get out of the way. Don't overthink this. Give it to 19. Let the rest take care of itself.
He's not fair.
My next pick is one that I had circled 2 months ago when the Cardinals were losing to Boston College. Now they've rattled off a few wins. The Dukes looked invisible for a little bit. They were 5-0 against the spread, absolutely crushing teams. And then they had a little wake-up call. Their quarterbacks got hurt. Need that quarterback to be healthy. He's going to be a game-time decision. But if he's healthy, give me the Dukes plus 7.5. They can score. Louisville, that's not what they like to do. They like to just blitz their brains out. I think the Dukes can do enough to score there. Give me James Madison and a touchdown and a hook against those Cardinal Birds.
It'd be real fun to see Louisville lose that one.
Especially after beating a fraudulent top 10 team.
We could all use a Bluegrass Daily Double at this point.
Yeah, we really do. We really do.
Definitely a must Bluegrass Double weekend if those ever existed.
Yeah. What you got, Luckett?
Staying in the SEC here, the other big game this weekend, Alabama at LSU. I'm taking the home dog at Tiger Stadium, catching double digits. We've seen Alabama here in these recent road games just really not play very well. Haven't covered many of these big numbers. LSU quietly just keeps getting better and better, and we've seen dual threat quarterbacks that can move around and throw the ball give Nick Saban's defense some issues. Jaden Daniels playing with a lot of confidence right now. I think Alabama's going to win this game, but that's too many points. So I'm going to take the 13.5 and give me the Bayou Bengals at night, Tiger Stadium. It's going to be electric. I think LSU is going to hang around.
I'm going to go out west to the Big 12, where we all know that Texas is most certainly back, and they're winning. What is this, top 15 matchup? A little 11 versus 13.
Famous last words right there, Drew.
Big game in the Big 12.
I mean, never mind that Kansas State won like 50-0 last week. I'm going off Texas's first half against Oklahoma State. I'm a believer in Texas being back, at least for this week. Robinson will be able to run the ball. Ewers has a big bounce-back game. I can't believe I'm trying to talk myself into any of these things I don't truly believe, but I'm at least taking the Longhorns. They're going to win.
That stinks too. That's really stinky. Man,
I just want to say I'm someone who thinks Texas will never be back. I tried to put on a fake smile there, but I do think they'll cover.
One thing that isn't stinky this year, it's something y'all know. I've got a problem. I can't stay away from it, and that is.
Before you do this, have we won a bet with the team Nick is about to talk about?
Yes, we have won a bet, but it's been over unders. It's always been totals. But this one, hammer it. The Purdue Boilermakers hammer down, boiler up. Jeff Brom is 4-1 against Iowa. They're playing at home. They only got to beat them by a touchdown, and even with Iowa's best defense, Jeff just knows how to scheme around them. He beat the snot out of them last year when they were a legit top 10 defense in the country. Purdue's defense has gotten better. They're not going to score a bunch of – Iowa can't score against this Purdue defense. The Roush family is going to be in the house. I won't be there, but my parents will. All the mojos coming together. Give me the Boilers at home. Only got to win by 5. Give me that all day.
These are like two of your favorite teams. I'm trying to see what the Roush parlay pays right now over on my bookie. We got to get the under and your minus. They got -3, by the way.
Oh, -3, man.
Nick, when you were gone,
on the Hawkeyes.
When you were gone, Drew jumped on the Purdue wagon,
and it worked. Right?
No, it didn't. No,
they played Wisconsin and got their teeth kicked in.
I was like 13-2, and then I ran into the Purdue buzzsaw,
and it was over from the opening kick.
Well,
Brian Ferentz's swan song here. He's going to drop 17 points, season high. Be enough to win the game. Think about Kentucky can hardly score 17 points. Man, think about what an Iowa fan would do for 17 points a game in a power conference season average. They'd sign up for that right now.
I love the intro. If you haven't seen it, go watch their Iowa Northwestern game intro that ESPN ran. It was like they got filmed from like the 50s and ran it as like a black and white reel. Oh, like it. Give us one more winner.
Yeah, staying in the SEC. God, I'm 3 games in the SEC this week. That's rare. I don't usually do that. But going to Starkville. Mississippi State off a bye. Their AD just left them for Auburn. Now Auburn's coming into town this weekend. So that's going to be a pumped-up crowd. I've talked about how much different Mississippi State is at home compared to on the road. They're getting back at home. We saw they smoked A&M in Arkansas. In Starkville, I think they're going to be pretty motivated for this game. They're better than Auburn, laying 13. I think Leach may keep the dogs in a little bit longer if they get a lead late. And they might stay a little aggressive there. So I like Mississippi State laying the 13. Cadillac Williams, interim coach, but I think they take it on the chin here. So give me the Bulldogs on laying the double digits at home.
I didn't think about the AD coming home aspect there. I like
same
this
week.
One too.
He
Betting
leaves for the
against
same
Auburn.
week.
Betting against Auburn has been very profitable, including last week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going to do a little SEC where I like the Gators because I still think, even though Texas A&M thinks they found their quarterback of the future, I don't believe for 1 second he's any better than the rest of them. Florida's pass defense has been pretty terrible. I think they've almost given up like 100 points the last 2 weeks. But A&M's not good enough to take advantage of Florida's defense. And Florida gets a win against the Aggies, who can't beat anybody but like Miami and Arkansas. So I'm chomping this week.
Yeah. Loser there might be headed to 5-7. So that's not a place any of those fan bases want to be. So that's a little anxiety game there in College Station.
A&M hasn't lost 5 games in a row since 1980. Ooh. That's on the line.
A big part of it, I do wonder if they're just like, screw it. I know the fans are excited that they made a quarterback switch, but when you have those expectations and you've lost 4 in a row, at some point you check out.
It's a lot of losing in a row.
It's a lot of losing.
Speaking of not losing, Saturday, flight line, never lost. It's running like 120s and 118s. Let's go for the upset, baby. Upset pick of the week. I'm back in Epicenter, baby. Best 3-year-old in the class. Let's go. Big time upset. You can do it, buddy. Best 3-year-old out there. Should have won the Derby. Got knocked off that stupid horse, Rich Strike. That horse is a bum. Its owner's a bum. Flightline is the real deal. Don't get me wrong. But he ain't played nobody, Paul. He's out there on the West Coast. This is his first time under the bright lights. Let's use our $10 money back special and go ahead, 10 to win on Epicenter. When you win $200 off of it, you can thank me later. Flightline, today's not your day.
We got Roush on here calling horses bums. This is what we've become.
I love calling horses bums because, like, it's a horse. You know, come on. Like, of course you can call it a bum.
You're going to lose so much money when Flightline wins by 12 links.
Well, and the thing is I'm still going to, like, if you can't throw it out of any exotics because you're an idiot. Or any of your pick 4s or pick 5s. But just, you know what? Let's try to beat it. You know? Why not?
Well, good luck with that. And good luck to all the viewers of the Pick 3. Remember to do your betting over at MyBookie where they will double up your first deposit up to $1,000, $1 million, whatever it is. There's a limit somewhere. Either way, just do it and drop Duke's toy hammer there. For Drew, Nick, and Adam, this is the Pick 3. Good luck, everybody.